makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball. Not only is the Spire smaller and lighter than the leading competitors, but with a true 200 round capacity, it definitely holds more paint. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
ANSgear.com has the world's largest inventory of paintball equipment, including guns, masks, loaders, paintballs, tanks, and clothing. With free shipping on all orders over $100. Shop now at ANSgear.com.
About to watch Houston Heat, and they're going to take on Sacramento Excessive. And you know, Sacramento Excessive, they're 0-3 right now, but they're a top team. They're just, as they, they had a successful year last year. They come in the PSP and kind of struggled so far, had some close games, but right now let's check out these rankings. Now they're playing Houston Heat. They're 2-0 with a +6 differential, and then San Diego Dynasty's 2-1 +10. Chattanooga CP 2-1 with a +3. That's just good to say. And then San Antonio X Factor is 1-2 with a -6. Didn't think that was going to happen. And then we definitely did not think Sacramento Excessive was going to be 0-3 with a -13. But again, the road is long, like Rich Telford said in his interview, and they've done it before. They'll do it again. They will get back to the top. Just a matter of time. But let's see where they're at right now. Talking about a good measure. Houston Heat's the best team in the world right now, and it doesn't really, yes, you could say, okay, these teams look good or etc., but until somebody knocks Heat off their pedestal, they're the best. We got Lauren Kelly. Lauren, what's going on over there?
We've got Nick Sloviak from Heat down here, the short version. He's kneeling down for me, thanks so much. We saw you guys having a team meeting out on the field. What were you talking about?
Just going over the game plans, everything that Tro's Team Excessive do, and just going over the mistakes we made in our first two games yesterday, the small things we got to work on, and what we have to take into this game that's going on right now in order to win.
Sorry, I know I have you over here, but what have you seen Excessive do that you guys are trying to counteract to make sure you win?
Well, Riley, as you can see, as I'm sure you're talking about right now, he just got shot. He's been pushing really hard on the Drita side, so we know that, and we got to just take him into account because he's an aggressive player, he's a good player. And then just communicate across the field, listen to our coaches, and just have faith in your teammates and play together.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. You can stop bending down. Let's get back to this game. Back to you, Maddie.
Thomas Taylor going to work over here in the snake for Sacramento Excessive. Gonna put it on him. Here comes the love.
Oh, but geez, Thomas ran right out.
What a shot.
Yeah. Who is that? That's Ronnie Dizon, man. We're talking about standout players right now. Ronnie Dizon really stepping it up for Houston Heat.
He's a great player, Matty, without question. He's quick, he's tiny, he's everything you could possibly want.
Well, and this point's been all Sacramento Excessive, and with Thomas Taylor doing a really good job over here on the snake side, and then here comes Sacramento Excessive. This is the type of paintball we thought we were going to see in this event, and I think maybe the pressure got to some of the guys on Excessive because they let the reins loose, and when they're 0-3 and they're playing Houston Heat and they got nothing to lose, look what happens. So nice job by Excessive to go up 1-0 against Houston Heat. Gut check time for Houston Heat, and we're going to be right back after this.
Ever wonder how your order gets from ANSgear.com to you? Using our fast and efficient processing method, your purchase is pulled, verified, and shipped to your door quickly and accurately. Every order is checked for accuracy 3 times before it leaves the warehouse. With your choice of free shipping on orders over $100 to next day, Saturday, or international shipping options, you get the products you need sooner and at an affordable price to get you back in the game. Shop now at ANSgear.com.
I'm also interested to see what's going to happen with this matchup, because these two teams have never faced each other before in their current incarnations. Now, the players that are on Houston Heat have definitely played against a lot of players that are on Excessive because there's so many veterans on both teams. But the way that these teams are structured, they've never actually, gone at each other, and Excessive winning that first point, looking really good doing it.
Absolutely. They're shooting great lanes in the break. Thomas Taylor getting in the snake and just going to work. And we haven't seen a lot of people making that snake in the break and producing. Riley Sullivan, again, getting in the 50 Dorito, but unfortunately just not getting it done over there. I mean, it's not a problem. It's not a matter if. It's a matter he's in there, but what are you going to do about it? That guy's a stellar paintball player. I just think he's having one of those days, unfortunately.
Yeah. So again, just walking in there. But so Sacramento Excessive won, 18:35 left to go here. 20-minute game time. So race to 7. And let's see if these teams can play clean here and watch the split screen breakout. This game brought to you by Camp Pendleton Paintball Parks, and Excessive been getting a lot of reps out there. It's one of the best fields in Southern California. You could argue it's the best field in Southern California, and we're getting great turnouts, an awesome tournament scene there, great rec fields, and just a really well-run park. So Camp Pendleton Paintball Park, if you're in the Southern California area, definitely got to get out there and check it out.
Thomas Taylor taking the walk for Excessive, trying to make it to that back snake corner, unfortunately getting clipped on the way out. 5 alive now for Houston Heat, down to 3 players for Excessive.
Yeah, Jaime Lopez got shot as well. Konstantin Fedorov took Dorito 2 on the break, and he had, I believe, Woodley come up right next to him in support right away. Sergei Shlishnikov bumps into Dorito 2 as Fedorov comes into Dorito 3. Ronnie Dizon down here getting the spin on each side of the field. Now he jumps into the snake 2. Sergey comes out of the Dorito, starts booking through the middle, and he's going to make Jesse Lapid wear it in the face before he gets chopped up by Junior Brown.
And it looks like a penalty right there on Jesse Lapid. And John Woodley's going to run that flag, and Lapid able to get in there before. So here comes Houston Heat getting right back and tying this game up. Minor penalty on Jesse Lapid, who comes back to Excessive after a rather elongated break. He was a great player for them for years and been out of the game for a little bit, but really played some good divisional ball last year. Trained in the offseason, was able to, step it up and make the starting squad for Excessive here. Let's check out this replay. Look at this run through. Just drops the hammer on Jesse Lapid, who continues to shoot him as he comes through, trying to make sure he gets paint on, jumps over, leaps to referee, making it look pretty.
Isn't that usually a major?
Right now, look at the pits. Excessive. You see number 4, there's Slattery from Excessive. It's 1-1 right now. 1 minute left before this next game point. We'll see you guys right after these messages.
Best paintball videos on the web, then tune in to paintballaccess.com. Fill your mind with compelling articles, player stats, and the best interviews in the business. And this season, paintballaccess.com has become even hotter with exclusive videos from the CXBL. The CXBL is easily Canada's largest tournament, featuring real X-ball with 15 balls per second and 25-minute halves. Drop by paintballaccess.com for exclusive footage from Canada's hottest tournament.
There's Sacramento Excessive in the green and black JT jerseys. Johnny Greer, and now we're looking at Houston Heat in the Raza jerseys.
Fresh new fits for the year. Got a chance to work with Sarge over there, owner of Houston Heat. Great guy. I love what he's about with the team, and gave us an opportunity to sponsor them, and super happy about it. Great team, obviously put together championship right away.
Can't argue with success, right?
Absolutely not.
Raza Paintball's premier team.
And
getting shot in the break, far side. Riley Sullivan taking a ball, going to Dorito 2 on the break, Maddie.
Yeah, Riley Sullivan, I don't want to knock him too much because he is getting into spots and he is getting some kills. I just expect a lot out of Riley because he's arguably the best player on the team, to be honest. And they really need him carrying his weight, and a lot more so than some of the other guys, just to be realistic. And they're getting some performances out of some of those other more role players. And I just really want to see Riley Sullivan transcend a little bit and and just play his best paintball, because he's more than capable of doing that.
Yeah, Nick Slowiak and Mishka both get shot at the same time, filling out to the corners. Chad Yaya Boucher is still alive. Sam Monville and Ryan Smith is in that mini race bunker off the side of the snake side, trying to lock off the snake side of the field. But excessive player just got into that 50 Dorito. Here comes Chad Boucher. He tries to do the aerial burial Tyler Harmon move. Loses his goggles. Referees jump on him, blow the horn, call the game. Chad Boucher, maybe he should have buckled his chin strap a little bit better, keep them goggles on.
Yeah, well, let's hope he's okay. You know, paintball's
yeah, he'll be all right.
Yeah, paintball's a really safe sport as long as those goggles stay on. Yeah, you are going to see your occasional.
And you know what's going on right now? You see Chad dive in that bunker. His goggles flew off, and what happens is it's a safety issue. The judges immediately stop the game. Every player will stay in their bunkers. Now what's going to happen is they're going to have a 10-second countdown probably, and the game is going to continue from where it stopped. Players alive will stay in their live bots. Everybody else that's eliminated will get off the field.
I'm sure glad he covered up right away. I didn't want to see him get shot in the face because he is too pretty.
So Chad Boucher is going to come off,
and you can see these Houston Heat players right now still staying in their bunkers. They will continue to play in that spot. The judges will then put the players back in their bunkers, and it'll be pretty much a 3-2-1 go thing. It was a safety timeout. The refs are down there talking about it right now. Usually when your goggles fall off, you get eliminated, and that is a safety issue.
And he either looks like Chad Yaya went to the box. So it looks like he got a penalty as he must have failed on the aerial burial as his goggles came off and got
aerial burial.
Got a minor.
One thing about Chad, I had the pleasure of playing with him on Aftershock. He's not scared. The kid has so much heart, and he loves paintball, and just he's one of those guys. If you don't play him, he'll be in there ready to play at all times, filling your pod.
Great teammate.
He's amazing.
Great teammate.
He's probably one of the best teammates I think I've ever had, and that's no lie.
But what I like about him is he will go and he will work just as hard as the guy that's playing every point, just to make sure that the points that he gets are the most valuable.
Without question.
You know, he doesn't sit there and question the coaching staff. He doesn't question the ownership. He just goes out there and does his job. You know, and I think that, you know, that camaraderie that they have and everybody's willingness to buy into the program, you know, is what has helped Heat be so successful. You know, and that's really something cool to see, especially with the quickness that they did it. So,
you know, we'll get.
And you know, the bunker players are all staying by the bunkers. You can see Sam Monville right there just begging to get back into it.
Yeah, Sam Monville's on the island by himself right now.
Well, yeah, but he's on an island by himself. He's got Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith got pulled on the penalty.
Oh, Ryan Smith got pulled on the penalty. So,
so
Sam Monville's sizing up, be like, okay, 2-on-1, I've done this before.
You know, and I spoke to Sam Monville earlier. He was not happy. I wasn't here, obviously, to see the play yesterday. But in speaking with him, he wasn't really happy with the way he played, because, you know, Sam Monville is one of those players that really gets down on himself when he's having a bad day, and he's a realist. He says, hey, man, I'm having a bad day, but I'm going to bring it back.
Yeah, well, that's you know, he's been playing for a minute now. The guy's got a lot of reps in, so, you know, some days you got it, some days you don't. You want to have it more than you don't, but if you're not getting it done out there, and then you want to at least realize, like, okay, well, this is why we have 10 guys on the roster, 12 guys on the roster,
right,
and give somebody else some spins, and maybe they'll be getting it done out there, or at least give you a little rest, take a beat, take a breather, and get refocused. And, you know, Sam Monville didn't really have a lot of bad games last season. He was one of their best players. He was the reason why they won Phoenix, as he was able to shoot the eventual Top Gun Award winner, Alexander Burnikoff, in a really, really clutch move. So, looks like we have Lauren down on the sidelines. Lauren, what's going on over there?
Hey guys, I'm down on the sidelines. Excessive is convinced that penalty on Heat should be a major, not a minor, because they say Yaya had already been hit and was playing on, and so he should have been pulled already, but then he purposely threw his goggles off to get a minor. We're not sure what the real deal is. They're calling a minor penalty, but we'll have to see what the call is when we have the playback. That's all for now.
Yeah, it's always chaotic out there, and of course, you know, they're going to plead their case and try to get whatever they can out of it. But now Rich Telford and Johnny Greer are trying to take down Sam Monville.
And also in the snake over here, Sam Monville is probably going to get a back massage in a second because, you know, in the snake over here for excessive.
Well, Johnny Greer needs to hurry up because
Yeah.
Rich Telford's engaged. You can see he's like, Johnny, what are you doing? Let's move it. You know, Rich Telford's engaging. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Johnny Greer's playing it kind of a little too safe over here. Monville hasn't even looked. There, finally, he makes his move, and all you need to do is just trade out with him. Nice job. Johnny Greer finally getting that kill, and a good job by Rich Telford. Shooting just non-stop, trying to roll paint, and it's only 6 seconds left, and Greer's going to be able to get it in. So Excessive will be able to start this with a slight advantage. Only 3 seconds left on that penalty. So nice job by Sacramento Excessive here. And 3 seconds left on that minor penalty for Heat. Got ourselves a game here, and we're going to be right back after this.
Next season on the roster.
We're looking for a guy that's like on our heels every weekend.
My name is Wesley Ward. I'm 23. I'm from Macon, Georgia.
Scott Kemp, age 26, born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
The attitude thing, man, it's one of those things. Some people like it, some don't.
And we are back here. The score is 1-1, 15-12 on the clock, and best team in the world, Houston Heat, our champions from last year, winning, not just winning the World Cup, but winning 3 events and finishing second at another one, are now playing Sacramento Excessive. Look at the D-side cam is coach.
You know, right there, Matty, as I saw him going in, John Greer, we talked about it. Sam Monville must have got a ball on him because there's a no point, a dirty hang on Jonathan Greer. So the score is still going to be sitting at 1-1.
Yeah, so let's listen in.
Oh, you can see the frustration on Frank Connell's face, Matty. He's the coach now for Excessive. That is going to be a no point. As I said, the score will sit at 1-1 with 15 minutes left in this game. This is a great game. I like the way Excessive is playing right now.
Yeah, they're playing pretty good, man. And I guess it was a dirty hang. That's a 2-minute major penalty on, I think, Johnny Greer here. We're seeing when we start this out, but that's an unfortunate turn of events for Sacramento Excessive.
And that was, I think that Sam Monville did get a ball on Jonathan Greer as he was coming down. Now, he didn't have to get that flag. Rich Telford was sitting over there by himself. He shouldn't even have touched the flag. You know, I'm sure he's arguing that Sam spun, but honestly, it looked pretty simultaneous from up here, in my opinion.
I thought so too, to be honest. But, you know, again, that's why we have referees down there, and we're 100 feet away, so.
Well, I mean, if that's a major, then Jesse Lapid's bunker getting bunkered should have been a major as well, because, I mean, he spun on Sergey just as much as, you know, Sam or Johnny Greer played on right there. So.
And now with that said, though, because Rich Telford was the only one left alive, it should have been at 1-for-1. But now what they're doing, look what they're doing. I think that the point actually went to Houston Heat, saying that Sam Monville should have been alive.
Mass hysteria, cats and dogs sleeping together. It's craziness out there. Well, you know, it's a paintball tournament, man. This is kind of how it goes.
And the voice of reason, Frank Connell.
Yeah, let's listen in. Let's hear what Frank's going on here. Might not be suitable for children, just warning everybody.
It doesn't matter how loud you yell, the play is going to stay the same. Look out.
Always entertaining.
Obviously,
never a dull moment, right?
Never a dull moment.
Might as well start the tournament off with a little bit of excitement and controversy. Why not? It's a paintball tournament. So, well, we still got a lot of game to play. I feel like we've already played an entire match so far.
I feel like it's Sunday.
It does. Doesn't it feel like a Sunday already?
And Frank's voice is already gone.
We've got rules on paper, ladies and gentlemen.
We do have paper rules.
paper rules.
I personally have never read. I've never read them.
Did
personally.
they literally pull the rule book out to show? They've got the rule book out to show Frank Connell what the rules are. All right, show.
Yes, two guys left on the field, except the one that got the penalty.
So that's Leon, our head referee. I actually really like how I like that Leon is. He's always every single event he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, give me your opinion on everything." You know, he's constantly trying to make sure that this stays the best reffing crew in the world. So.
No. That was the no. Not today.
No. Not today, Frank
Not
Connell.
today, Frank Connell. Not in my house.
Well, you know, Frank's he's doing his best. He's the coach of the team now, so Frank's got to argue his case, and you know that's how it always goes out there. It doesn't even matter. It always happens this way. You see it every single tournament since the dawn of time, since the paintball was invented, since the first paintball rolled out of an encapsulation machine. About 10 minutes after that, people started arguing about who shot who.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That cow was like, "Hey, I'm not hitting."
The cow, the trees that were getting marked were like, "Oh, that's not hitting.
like,
that's rub, man. It's rub." Yeah. So here we go, 15-12, still stuck at 28 seconds to go. Everyone's trying to figure out.
You know, it's mass hysteria here, but you know what? There's not a cloud in the sky. I'm here with my boys, Matty Marshall and Todd Martinez.
And we're watching some great paintball.
Paintball. And if this is any inclination of how this weekend is going to go, it's going to be a fun weekend.
Oh, it's going to be super entertaining year. Very entertaining. Tell all your friends to watch the webcast, and you know these are the best teams in the world throwing down, and it's always going to be controversy. So Heat now up 2-1 against Sacramento Excessive.
And on the breakout, Heat starting with 4 as Smith is going to get a chance to run out of the box. He may have gotten bounced. Sergey, he gets shot on the break or shortly thereafter.
Oh, major penalty now on, and here we go. We'd seen a clean event so far.
Wow.
And here midway, or a little bit more over midway towards the end of the second day here, and it's just become just a flag festival out there.
It's like Flag Day. Oh, and a minor penalty now. Now I'm not another minor penalty, which is going to pull this guy out of the snake, which means it's going to be no point.
Well, I think what CEP did was take what they had last year and just spread it across the league a little bit. You know, everybody, we're just gonna pass these out, let everybody get a little something.
Oh my goodness.
You know, and we're gonna be cool now.
Yeah. CP is like, we're gonna play clean. We're gonna get two minors in 3 games or something. Pretty close to that. And then, but everybody else. All right, here's some red flags for you.
We don't need these anymore. We're winning now.
I want to see.
Yeah, so.
I mean, Fedorov's saying I got shot in the pack.
I think everybody got a penalty that game.
So, yeah, what happened in the way there was, and here's Fedorov. Now, what happened is they got a major penalty, which pulled out the last player. The last player traded with the last Sacramento Excessive player, which means everybody in the field is eliminated. No point. 2-1 still, with 15 million penalties on the board right now.
Both teams starting with 1. We'll be right back after this commercial. And we're back here, the most penalty-ridden match that we've seen so far. I was totally kidding about the team starting with 1. It looks like we've got a major on Greer and 2 minors on, a major on Heat. And so Heat's got a major and a minor, and Excessive still has a major. So Excessive's going to be starting with 4 with 1 minute and 14 seconds on that major penalty. And then there's going to be Heat starting with 3, and they have 52 seconds on the minor and about 1 minute and 34 seconds left on their major penalty. So the advantage does go to Excessive on this particular point. It's still a really close match, and still it feels like we just when I look up at the clock, it feels like we still have the entire game to play because there's 14 minutes and 20 seconds left. But it is going to be advantage Excessive here to start this out as far as body count is concerned, but Houston Heat is up 1 point. Todd, I'm not even going to ask you what you would say to any of these guys out there, because there's been so much craziness happening that as far as like game plans and strategy are concerned, it's just too tough to tell. So we still have the clock stopped, and we're going to head to a commercial break. We're going to be right back after this. And we are back here, Houston Heat taking on Sacramento Excessive. Matty Marshall up here with Todd Martinez and Chris Lasoya. All right, so we still have 2 games remaining today after this one's done, which at the rate that we're going is probably going to be done sometime around midnight. And then after that, we're going to have Dynasty and CEP and Houston Heat and San Antonio X Factor. And it looks like we have Lauren Kelly on the sidelines. Lauren, can you please enlighten us on what is going on down there?
Hey guys, we are down here on the sidelines. There is so much going on, it's almost hard to keep up, but we're on a timeout because the refs are having a conference. Excessive says that they should get that point because he had 1 major and 2 minors. Well, we don't know what the call is going to be. We'll keep.
All right, so little technical glitch there. So yeah, the referees are going to figure it out. Looks like 2 minors again on the board currently, as Jason Trojan is talking to his boys. Jason Trojan, coach of that team, best coach of last year by far, as his team dominated. But so the score 2-1, and as it stands right this second, we have 2 majors, 1 on each team, and then Heat also has a minor. And so Heat's going to have to start with 3. Excessive will start with 4, and they're going to play it out again. Minors and majors a little bit different. The minors signified by a yellow flag being thrown in the air by a referee, and that's a 1-minute penalty. Comes off if you lose the point. And 2-minute majors stay on the entire time. It's a much more dastardly penalty than the minor is. And we've seen a lot of those here in this game. But generally speaking, this hasn't been that crazy of a tournament for penalties. This is kind of an anomaly, actually. This game has been an anomaly so far because we've seen a lot of really stand-up play so far, and not too much going on as far as the penalty. But you know, it's like an NFL game, or you know, an MMA game or a fight when you know guys are throwing illegal strikes or something. It's a sport. You're going to have this. You hear a lot of this. It's like, oh well, paintball would be so much more successful if guys weren't cheating. It's like, well, you know, if a guy gets hit on a pack, he's going to get a penalty. And yeah, some guys are going to push more than others. It's a sport. This is just how things work when you have highly competitive players and teams and A-type personalities playing the game, doesn't matter what game it is, at its highest level. This is just comes with the territory. And it's kind of really entertaining, to be honest. So I mean, I'm entertained right now.
The action is so fast. You know, the moves are so bang, bang. You know, and that's why it's hard for the referees to be on top of those calls. But, you know, the referees just need to be there and make decisions as fast as they can. And
so
try and get them right.
Yeah, so Heat starting with 3, Excessive starting with 4. Those penalties start to tick off. And let's see, Houston Heat able to make their 3 bodies out alive. They have Chad George, John Woodley, and Sergei Solnyskov. And looks like Excessive able to keep their 4 bodies alive as well. They have Riley, Sullivan, Thomas Taylor, Rich Telford, and Aaron Tholey.
Thomas Taylor makes a bump into the mini race bunker behind the snake. Aaron Tholey comes up into the tall temple right next to Dorito 2 and Riley Sullivan. First penalty that's going to come off the board is going to be one of the ones for Houston Heat with 20 seconds left. But Excessive getting themselves in position to pepper that box and not let him out of there.
Thomas Taylor drops the ball, gets shot, trying to creep around that side. One was dropped in by, I believe that was, is that John Woodley in the Dorito 1 over there? Yeah.
Actually, I don't think it was John Woodley that shot him. It was actually Chad George over here on the right on your screen right there. That was Chad George that actually dropped one over on when he came around Snake 2.
So Fedorov is now out of the box, gets into that can, doubles up with Sergey, and then bounces over here to the Snake side, help out Chad George. 23 seconds, Excessive comes out of the box, and only 1 penalty left on the board in 20 seconds. We're going to see the last Heat player come back onto the field. Right now, Thomas Taylor. Thomas Taylor's been eliminated, the only body, except, oh, there goes Riley Sullivan. Gets one in the side of the goggles. He's walking off. And Aaron Doley bounces from that tall temple into the Dorito too.
Oh, and then trying to get out of the box, Houston Heat, but getting picked off is Sam Monville. So Houston Heat, oh, and Konstantin Fedorov gets shot out of his bunker. That is not something you normally see happen to Konstantin Fedorov. He normally gets shot on a move or off the break or running somebody down. But now
Johnny Greer gets shot by John Woodley. Good job by John Woodley to get that shot in him right there.
And now Chad George, that's who Rich Telford's shooting at right there. Chad George has got in the snake right there on your screen. So it is a 3-on-2. Houston Heat has the 50 Dorito coming down the field. Oh, and there goes Rich and everybody else. Now everybody's gone.
Rich dies, but so does Woodley.
But I think that's going to be it right there by Houston Heat. Chad George is going to sneak in there, try and grab the flag, but no need because Houston Excessive concedes the point.
So Excessive did have the advantage at the start of that point, but they weren't able to capitalize. However, all of the penalties have ticked off the clock, and both teams will be starting with 5 bodies. The score is now 3-1 in favor of Houston Heat, but we still have a very close match. We're looking in the pits of Houston Heat right now. 11 minutes and 55 seconds left to go, and we're going to be right back after this.
While you are sitting at home, Legacy HDK, ABC Protagonist 727, Texas, Storm, Bloom, and Houston Heat are here in Dallas, wearing Raza.
All right, we're back here. So we have the rest of this game remaining. We also have Dynasty and CEP. I think that's going to be a pretty awesome game. CEP's 2-1 right now, so is the Dynasty. So CEP Resurgent coming out, winning some really good matches. They beat Excessive. They beat San Antonio X Factor. They're going to be taking on San Diego Dynasty. And then Houston Heat, who's currently playing right now against Excessive, is going to be taking on X Factor in another great game coming up this afternoon. But right now, again, just there's some I don't know. This game is weird, man. It looks like Woodley wasn't able to get out to the box in time.
No, that's
a really big mistake that you don't ever normally see coming from Houston Heat. As far as organization is concerned, they're normally very good about that.
Here comes a penalty. I can see Riley Sullivan pulled a minor penalty on himself, going up to that 50 Dorito, Todd. I mean, Matty, sorry to interrupt you right there, but, you know, he's rough day, man. This is a crazy game.
Yeah, this is a crazy game. So, looks like, penalty pulled on
Riley Sullivan.
Riley Sullivan for Excessive. At least it was a minor for Excessive because they're still in this game. I think that's the thing that Excessive needs to keep in mind right now is that they are still in this match. They could still pull it out, especially if Houston Heat's going to start making mistakes like not getting 5 guys to the box on time.
Yeah. Sam Monville is still alive with Chad George over here on the snake side for Houston Heat. I believe that is that's Jerry D'Amato right there in the mini race bunker behind the snake for Excessive. Is he by? No, he's got Jaime Lopez in snake too.
Yeah, so Jaime Lopez and Jerry D'Amato in the snake left alive for Excessive, and that's all that they have left. Though they are going to get Riley Sullivan out of the box in a couple seconds. Let's see if Riley's able to make it out alive. I don't know if Houston Heat realizes and shoot the box. Yeah, the crowd is screaming box, but Riley Sullivan just not even, he's untouched coming out. Oh, Riley Sullivan comes out untouched, but then instantly looks out into a ball. And also at the exact same time, right before that actually, Jerry D'Amato catches one. So it's just Jaime Lopez. and there's nothing he can do. So it was a close one. I thought Excessive was gonna be 3-on-2 there, and if they had won that, that would have been awesome to watch and would have made this a close game. But you know, Riley Sullivan made it in clean, immediately looks out into a ball, and Jerry D'Amato catches one too, and just not enough out of Excessive that point. So let's check out this replay here. So there it was, Woodley not able to get to the box on time. The referee, they're calling him out. So a little bit of a ball droppage there for John Woodley as he just couldn't get out to the starting gate in time.
Yeah, Chad George had a 4-piece that last game. Shot Riley, Jesse, Jaime, and Jerry. So, I mean, we haven't really called Chad George's name, you know, a lot yet. You know, I think him and Sam are both still trying to find their groove. But the team's still playing well. You know, had a bunch of penalties, obviously, this game. But, you know, Houston Heat still looks pretty good. And, you know, we're going to see more from this game when we get back from these messages.
What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball? The Spire is smaller, lighter, holds more paint, easier to use, easier to take apart, easier to change back and forth from a lid to a speed feed, and most importantly, the thing never jams. Find out more at virtuespire.com. Hey guys, Nick Stoyak here from Houston Heat. What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball? Not only is the Spire smaller and lighter than the leading competitors, but with a true 200 round capacity, it definitely holds more paint. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
Looking in Excessive pits right there. Aaron Tholey on your screen. And Excessive very calm in the pits right now. It's kind of a trend. We don't really see people screaming as much, which I always like to see, honestly. I wanted my guys to get up before we played games. But it's been kind of, like I said, more of a trend, and people want their players calm and methodical. Todd and Chris, both you were both very calm pit presences, you know.
Yeah, you don't have to tell
me. No matter what was happening.
I sat there, you know, didn't really say much, you know, I just kind of thought about it, pondered.
More internal.
It was more internal, yeah.
Internalizing, absolutely.
Yeah,
which is what we've been seeing in the pits these days. So, all right, here we go. Finally, 5 alive for both teams. The score is now 4-1, and let's see if Sacramento Excessive can get back in this match.
Ooh. You know, it looks like all 5 got out alive. Everybody on both sides of the field now, 5-on-5 game.
Woo!
Ooh, nice little dot there. And that on your
was that Fedorov or Sergey?
I think that was Fedorov, actually. I can't really tell.
Sergey, big really Sergey did a little jump loop into that Dorito too. Got in there. Got a little aerial time.
And look at Houston Heat. They're like you said, Maddie. Look at their body language. I mean, the only thing Sam Monville is really much the only one. You know, the other ones, they seem kind of just content where they are.
Well, at this point in the game, that's fine. You know, they've up 3 points. There's 9 minutes left, and they're starting to shoot bodies. That's fine. They're locking those lanes down. They're playing smart paintball. But when you see that body language, and they're not at bodies or not at points, that's when things kind of slow down a little bit. But Houston Heat, now after all the chaos of this game, they have 5 players alive. They have good field position on the Dorito side. And they're starting to make moves here to solidify their advantage and starting to chop up Excessive.
You know, Thomas Taylor taking the walk. Riley Sullivan took a walk. Slattery took a walk. I mean,
it's frustrating here because this is a big game for Excessive because the bottom 3 teams in each division instantly bump down to the Challengers division. And the 4th place teams play it out. Excessive definitely wants to put themselves in a position to play out for that because they haven't been successful so far. And this game was on the edge. And right now, when things got reset and all the craziness stopped, they still had a chance to win this game. It was only a 1-point match, but they're letting it slowly slip away. And we're going to be right back after this. We're back, gorgeous afternoon here in Dallas, Texas at the first PSP event of the year, sold out event. The event series is looking great this season. And if you are watching worldwide, man, go to pspevents.com, check out the affiliates leagues. There are spots at any entry level or any level of play. You know, whether you feel you're one of the best teams ever, you want to come play out here, and absolutely come and throw down, or you're just getting started, you can find an affiliate league where your skill level, you can still compete and then tier up, man. You know, it's great life experience. Definitely spread the word for us. Please help us continue this and continue to further the sport of paintball itself by supporting our sponsors. If it wasn't for our sponsors and our advertisers, we wouldn't be able to do this. So please send them emails, go to their websites, and buy their products, most importantly, because that's how we can get things accomplished, is by having a successful industry. And here we go, the teams now breaking out on this field, and just XSV is struggling over here on the Snake side right now as they lose, well, and on the Dorito side too, they lose Riley Sullivan as well.
Yeah, they went hard up the middle though, and towards the Snake. Ronnie Dizon tried to pull up his gun at the last minute while running the Snake one and got shot. But also you got Mishka, who's gonna come through the A right there and give it to Johnny Greer in the butt as he gets it from the front side as well from John Woodley. You know, lone man up there by himself when everybody else died behind him. That's the worst.
So if you're in the center 50, the last thing you want, because it's going to hurt real bad, is if everyone die around you. And yeah, Mishka able to drop the hammer on him. So it's not looking good for Sacramento XSV right now. Initially a very close game. And you could say, well, okay, the penalties and all this craziness and this and that, but honestly, it was, you know, a 1-point game when all the craziness stopped and everyone kind of got back to, it was still a really close match, but it's been Houston Heat coming back here. I'm not coming back, but pressing their advantage and just slowly but surely putting points on the board. And they're now 1 point away from victory. And we're going to be right back after the word from our sponsors.
Want to catch the best paintball videos on the web? Then tune in to paintballaccess.com. Fill your mind with compelling articles, player stats, and the best interviews in the business. And this season, paintballaccess.com has become even hotter with exclusive videos from the CXPL. The CXPL is easily Canada's largest tournament, featuring real X-ball with 15 balls per second and 25-minute halves. Drop by paintballaccess.com for exclusive footage from Canada's hottest tournament.
And we're back here, Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez and Chris Lasoya. And it's been all Houston Heat since the penalty insanity stopped a few points ago. You know, they've picked it up, and XSV seems to have really been mentally affected by all those penalties. And you know, XSV's going to have to go back to the drawing board here, though they did hang early on in this match. Now, next up after this game, we have Dynasty taking on CP. Can't wait to see that matchup because both those teams are 2-1, and that could be crazy. I mean, if CP were to come out, beat Dynasty, and go 3-1 and assure themselves, or coming close to assure themselves a berth in Sunday's competition, wow, would that be a story. Now, Dynasty, they're playing great, man. Dynasty able to beat X Factor, and then we have Houston Heat and X Factor right after that. So 2 awesome games coming at you to end Friday's competition. Then, sure enough, we're going to do it all over again tomorrow. Bright and early at 9:45 Central Time Saturday with Shock and Impact.
And XSV, Riley Sullivan to Dorito 2 on the break. Jesse Lapid up the middle. Jerry D'Amato makes the bump in to the Temple number 2 on the Snake, and he gets shot. Thomas Taylor got shot on the break, and Fedorov just walks down to XSV's side of the field. Jesse Lapid comes to get him.
That was awesome. Great move right there by XSV.
Jesse Lapid taking out Fedorov, but then he gets taken out by Sergey, and looking up, and a lot more XSV players dying. And so it's going to be Houston Heat taking the victory. And even though they scored a bunch of points, like I know 7-1 is a pretty big point spread, but this game was very close for a long time. And then all of a sudden it was Houston Heat just running away with it for like past 5 points.
Yeah, so, I mean, big games.
So it's not a close game, but you know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah, and
in the beginning.
Houston Heat pretty much just got big game after big game from a lot of their players. Fedorov won them a game. Chad George won them a game. Sergey won them a game. You know, and when everybody in your team is playing a high level, you know, some guys will just get them for you. You know, let's check out this replay real quick. Here is Fedorov. He gets in, tucks, and there comes Jesse Lapid out of the middle.
That's great to see Jesse Lapid get that done, though. Jesse Lapid realized, like, hey, Fedorov's got to die. I can't let him sit there. But then Sergey comes through off that chaos and takes down. Yeah, so, like, check it out. Here we go on this next angle. Nice job, Jesse Lapid. And then here comes Sergey. Look at this, reloading on the run. had to get a couple more balls in there, slips and falls, but does get that kill. So nice job by Jesse Lapid for Excessive, taking out Fedorov, but then nice job ultimately by Sergey to finish it off. So great job, and by Houston Heat to, to keep their composure. And when things start going crazy, that's when you really got to start. Let's just take a deep breath, understand that, yes, okay, it's chaotic, but hey, life's chaotic. Things happen. This is paintball, man. It wouldn't be a paintball game if things weren't happening like that. And but that's why it's an interesting game, and that's why these guys are being tested out here. So when chaos happens, you got to stay calm under pressure. Heat able to do that, taking down Excessive. So rough event for them, but we'll see them again. I guarantee you they will get back into it. And it looks like we have an interview with Frank Connell on the sidelines. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, we're here with Frank Connell from Excessive. Frank, you were pretty upset that entire time. Tell us what was going on.
Paintball is a very intense game when you're playing at this level, and sometimes emotions get the best of you. Reffing, everything else, it goes so quick that people make mistakes. So I can't blame the refs. They do a great job out there. They bust their butt all day, but they miss things, and we were on the bad end of it.
More of a PG answer than I was expecting, but that's good.
Yeah.
But what mistakes do you feel you guys were making on your end that you need to fix up?
My guys were making their bunkers and just dying. They were losing the gun battles. And if they can't stay alive, the biggest point of paintball is staying alive. If you can't do that, you can't even play the game. So that was the biggest problem.
How do you think Heat play? Do you think they're still in line to be the champs once again?
Yeah, Heat's one of the best teams out there. They got some phenomenal players, and they have a good chance of taking it. It's going to be them, Damage. That's what I think it's going to be, and Impact. Impact's definitely playing good today, the whole weekend.
Well, thank you so much. Go rest your voice. That's all down here right now, guys.
Frank Connell.
Yeah, Frank Connell. That was a lot more. That was a good answer.
Yeah,
I was impressed. Frank Connell.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, he took a deep breath and got in there and did a good interview. Good job, Frank.
Unbelievable.
That's true though. And he said, it's interesting because they were having a hard time. They're playing Houston Heat, best team in the world. Excessive, building their squad up. I think they're definitely going to be back in it. They're going to be a good team again, I guarantee. And you're looking at the huddle of Houston Heat right there. But do not go anywhere, man. We got two awesome games closing out the day. San Diego Dynasty and CEP. And, CEP, all of a sudden, they're the story of the event. And Dynasty playing great, too. And then Houston Heat and X Factor. Must-win situation for X Factor as they're 1-2. So, great paintball coming at you. Matty Marshall with Tom Martinez and Chris Lasoya. We're going to be right back. Do not go anywhere.